All right, everyone. So another way that you can make your enemies more difficult is by increasing the spawn rate so that they spawn more often. Now, I could have left this until we tried to make the monster more difficult, but the monster doesn't respawn, so I have to go back and do it with either the ghost or the bat. So I'm going to do it with the bat. So if we go to define spawn bat, we can see that right here, this is what's kind of going to determine how often the bat respawns. There's this kind of gap between respawns where it just glides to a random position and then it moves to the edge and then it reappears. And the length of this right here is going to determine how long it spends between respawns. So the longer this is, the longer the gap between respawns. So to make the level more difficult, you shorten this gap. Now that's kind of tricky to do as the level increases because you've got to kind of invert things. You've got to take the level getting bigger and make that correspond to the gap between bat appearances getting smaller. So you want something bigger to make something shorter. So you've got to have to think about it a little bit. What I suggest is this. Here's my first suggestion. I'm not going to do this. But what we could do is we could just go, let's say, minus, and then we'll stick this in here and put a 9 there. So what would happen, or actually put a 10. So it used to be pick random 4 to 8. Well, on level 1, it'll still be between 4 and 8 because, I should say level 2, when the bat first appears, the first time the bat appears, it'll still be between 4 and 8 because now it's 10 minus level and level is 2. So it'll be between 4 and 8. But then the next time the bat appears, which will be, level 5, then this would be between 4 and 10 minus 5, which is 5. So it'll be a much shorter time. Now, the reason I don't like this is because by the third time you reach the bat, which would be level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, this will be 10 minus 8. So pick random between 4 to 2. It's kind of going backwards. It's getting too small, and then pretty soon this is going to be a minus number, and it's not going to make any sense at all. So the problem is that this is kind of going up too fast. So let's just change this a little bit. I'm going to grab a divide. And then I'm going to grab level. And I'm going to divide it by the length of the enemies list. So what's the purpose of this? So now this will be roughly, the first time that you see the bat, this will be roughly 1. And then the second time that you see the bat, this will be roughly 2. Then the third time that you see the bat, this will be roughly 3. Because what's happening is, the length of this is getting divided by the length of the enemies list, which is length 3. So it's always kind of a third as large as it should be. And then you're only deducting that. So this would be easier to see if the bat came around on level 3 instead of level 2, but the point is the same. So suppose that the bat comes around on level 3, then this would be 10 minus 3 divided by 3, which is 1. And then it comes around on level 6, well, that would be divided by the enemy's list, which is 3, that would be 2. And the third time it comes around will be level 9, which would be divided by 3 is 3. So it's actually, this whole thing here is going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now that's not quite right because the bat doesn't appear on 3, 6, 9. That's the monster. The bat's going to appear on 2, 5, 8. But it's almost the same. It's the same size gap. So it's just going to be a little bit shifted. So that should make it appear more often. And I'm going to playtest that.
Yum yum.
Okay, as you can see, it was moving. It was respawning a lot faster. The respawn speed didn't go up a great amount in between appearances of the bat, which was kind of what I wanted, but it was a little bit slower than I wanted. But I think I'm kind of happy with the increase in aggression from the bats and the increase in spawn rate. I think that's good enough for now. So we'll leave that there, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you for listening, and if you find this video useful, please hit like and subscribe.